Hello, my lovelies. As we all know, Marvel Rivals Season 2 has been out for a few weeks. And as we all know, or probably have noticed, the rank system is kind of ass at the moment. However, to clear things up, the devs have released a tweet linking to a DevDoc entry. Let's read what they've said. Dear Rivals, since the launch of Season 2, we've been keeping an eye on community feedback, especially around balance, changes, and class performance in ranked play. And we want to take a moment to chat and clear things up. They've added a link to Dev Diver's entry. Thanks so much for your ongoing feedback. We're here to help, so don't hesitate to reach out to support if you need anything. Stay sharp, Rivals, and keep fueling the fight. Well, let's see what they wrote, shall we? So it's DevDoc 13 about seasonal balance and competitive performance, so let's see what it says. Hey Rivals! With the launch of Season 2.0, we've been closely monitoring the game environment and feedback from the community. Lately, we've noticed two hot topics generating a lot of discussion: the impact of balance adjustments and the performance ratings of various classes in ranked play. As such, we want to take a moment to clarify and communicate about these 2 points. Okay then. Season changes and mid-season balance adjustments. In previous seasons, the focus was on key abilities and energy management for ultimate abilities, resulting in a more stable combat pace. However, Season 2.0 shifts the spotlight to coordinated attacks and focused targets, along with the necessary collective protective strategies and counterattacks, which has led to a more intense combat rhythm. Okay then, that's a thing, I guess. So basically what they're saying here is that in Season 1, it was more about managing your ults to be able to survive ult clashes. So your supports could counter ult their supports, and possibly also the DPS ults that would follow. Because, you know, everyone would just ult when the DPS, when the strategist would ult, because you basically couldn't die. With a few exceptions, of course. And they're saying that now it's more about getting as many dive kills as possible, meaning that the increase in Black Panthers and Spideys in your lobbies is not just a coincidence. These characters can get to your backline as fast as possible, disrupt and maybe get rid of your backline, and then move on to the front line. And if you don't have a way to counter that, which, you know, considering the nerf to Loki and Adam Warlock's survivability specifically, is kind of hard to do. So... And you might be wondering why I'm talking about these two characters specifically. It's because Loki and Adam were actually extremely hard for dive characters to get rid of. They still are, kind of, but, you know, Loki and Adam are not easy characters to learn. And you might have Luna with your snowball, but it has a or a relatively small hitbox, so if you miss that, you're just done. And while Mantis has her sleep, if once you attack, the sleep's just over, and, you know, if no one else comes to help you, you're just done. In this fierce environment, strategists face increased pressure, needing to monitor teammates' health closely while carefully using their key abilities and being mindful of their position on the map. Meanwhile, vanguards and duelists must not only attack effectively, but also provide better protection for their strategists to achieve victory. Okay. So basically, you have to play dive while also playing counter dive. In low rank, that might be a little bit too much to ask, but a good example of this would be having like a dive tank in DPS, so say a Thor, Venom, or a Cap, with a Spidey, Psylocke, or Iron Fist, and having anti-dive tank and DPS such as Penny, Magneto, or Emma Frost with Namor, Punisher, or Storm to protect the strategists. That's basically what they're saying. People won't do that. Why would they? They're just out there farming kills. You know? In the upcoming patch, we will enhance the damage capabilities of certain strategists to elevate their threat levels, which in turn will increase team composition possibilities. So there's going to be a buff for certain strategists. Probably not for Loki and Adam, but hopefully for like Luna and maybe Cloak and Dagger. Rocket? Maybe. But Rocket's pretty good in getting rid of people close range, so I don't know. Additionally, we will make minor adjustments to a few heroes. For example, Groot and Captain America will see slight reductions in survivability, so they're getting nerfed. Spider-Man's amazing combo damage range will be slightly decreased, so his punch will be less. Get a nerf. Doctor Strange will require less energy for his ultimate, so he's getting a buff. And Winter Soldier's Tainted Voltage and team-up ability will be slightly buffed. Don't know why the team-up's getting buffed. It's a dumbass team up. It's fun to do, but it's not good. It doesn't necessarily work all that well. And like I think this one is better used in like quick play. I had a Bucky in rank the other day who wanted someone to play Captain America. I decided to humor him, got an MVP for it, so you know it all worked out. But we never actually used that well, because I would be like on one side of a person, he would be on the other side, and we'd press the button, or he'd initiate it, I'd press the button, and then that person would be gone. Because, you know, you're in the middle of a fight, so you're not necessarily going to notice that you can squish them between them, and a lot of heroes actually have a lot of escapability from that, so it's not that good. It's fun to do, but it's not good. Since this is a mid-season balance adjustment, we aim to be cautious, keeping changes minimal to enhance the experience of certain heroes without drastically altering the overall meta. As we move on to Season 2.5 with Ultron's arrival and new team-up ability adjustments, we'll consider broader, more comprehensive balance changes. Alright. I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll see once Season 2.5 will come out. I also don't know when the mid-season balance adjustments are gonna come out. It could be between now and at the end of May when Season 2 ends and Season 2.5 starts, but it might even come out by the time this video is out. I don't know. A lot of what-ifs in this section. A lot of what-ifs. But, you know, here's the important bit. Competitive performance points. We need to know what's going on with these points. In each match, hero performance rating is calculated based on the average key combat data for that hero at the player's current rank. Well, it's a lot worse than we were expecting, isn't it? And if anyone thinks that's good, you don't know what this means. You don't know what this means. It just sucks. Since there are, you know, ranked resets and high tier players get demoted, basically, it means that when highly skilled people, like even if it's someone from plat being demoted all the way back to bronze, it just means that the average, especially at the start of the season, and it could even go on for a very long time, because not everyone plays at the start of the season, but it means that the average at the start of the season is going to be very high level. And if you are a genuine low-level player, you have never played a hero shooter, for example, and you don't know how to counter anything that's currently happening because you're still learning the game, and you've been told that ranked is a good way to actually learn how to do that, you're going to have a lot of trouble actually, you know, countering a lot of the stuff that's happening. And because the average is so high at that point, you're just not getting the points to be able to get out of bronze. You're just not. You're not getting the points, especially not if you're playing something like support or tank, because you've never, you know, played these games, and all of a sudden you have to learn a skill set to be able to help your teammates. What are you gonna do? Also, it's not like they're saying that the average will change or anything, or that if and when it changes, how often, you know, it gets a refresh on what the average for each players is, because you need to have people just constantly playing, and that average needs to go down constantly, and you're like just not able to say like, okay, well, this is the average now, but it might be like different in like a few hours, so let's adjust it all the time. That's not what they're saying. They're saying there is an average, and we're going to hold us to that average. Okay, but how and when is that average calculated? Do we get it? Is that average like just constantly updated the whole time, or is that average calculated based on the week, based on the day, based on the season, based on last season? What information are you using for this rank system? How are we getting these points calculated? You know, what are we supposed to do about this? We don't know. We don't know how crappy we are. We don't know how good we are compared to like other people, because I can't measure up to top 500 players. You know? And if they were in my ranked, how am I supposed to compete with that? And they implemented this because there were people that actually wanted this. So I'm just going to say this. Anyone who asks for performance-based points is a child and needs to grow up right the fuck now. Because you asked for this bullshit and then threw it at the fan so that we could all get covered by that bullshit. The more a hero's combat data exceeds the baseline for the rank during the match, the better their performance rating, and vice versa for poor performance. So You know, if I do better, then okay, but if I do worse, then fuck you, I guess. I've actually had games where I got like 15 points for no apparent reason, and now I know it's because, you know, I did worse. Of course, these stats are adjusted based on hero usage time to ensure they aren't skewed by playtime. If a player uses multiple heroes in a match, performance rating will be weighed according to their usage time. Excuse me, what? You're telling me I shouldn't switch? You're telling me I should just stay on one hero, even if that might not be lucrative. All I'm reading here, you know, is that you get punished regardless of what you do. And like, you know, for example, like the previous sentence, the more a hero's combat data exceeds the baseline, and you know, vice versa for poor performance, like that basically just means that if I do everything according to what I had to do. For example, I had a game with a friend where I was playing support. I was playing Cloak and Dagger. I was out healing, legitimate stupid at the time, and actually playing the game how it was supposed to be played, and I got like 24 points. I had like 14k damage done. I had 41k healing done. I died maybe 4 times. I had 8 final hits. I got 24 points. Legitimately 24 points. My friend was playing Moon Knight. He had 13 deaths, 22 final hits. He got MVP. And he got 39 points. For being stupid and dying 13 times. Because he legitimately just initiated a 6v1 with himself and the enemy team because he kept running past the tanks. Like, if you really, really want to add in performance-based points, if you want to add a performance-based point system, give someone 1 or 2 more points if they are above baseline, and, you know, maybe give them an increased point loss if they do below baseline. So, for example, they play tank, they play horribly, they lose the game because of that, and instead of losing, say, 22 points, give them a loss of 24 or 25. Do that! You know, we don't need to lose, like, 300 points because we sucked ass, according to stats, even though we were playing relatively okay. You know, because a close match, while still having, like, underperformance, happens. It happens. And if you're rolling the enemy team, well, your stats suck anyway, so here's 15 points, I guess, for winning. This whole point system makes no sense. And I sincerely hope that they're going to roll that back in the next season. Not mid-season, like, not season 2.5. I hope they adjust it in season 3. I really do. I hope they roll it back, and if they really want to keep in performance-based points, then to do it like I explained, because this just doesn't work. We've noticed that compared to previous seasons, a small number of duelists have a slight advantage in performance ratings in Season 2.0, while vanguards and strategists face a slight disadvantage. You don't say! However, most heroes remain balanced. No. In the upcoming patch, we will optimize the performance rating calculations based on the latest data to ensure fairness across all heroes. What does that mean? Explain! You're not explaining, you're just saying words. Balancing the game and rank adjustment is a challenging endeavor, and we can't guarantee perfection 100% of the time. Now, you just gave people what they wanted, and now it sucks. Well, at least you gave, like, a small percentage of people what they wanted. The rest of us just never cared because, you know, points was fine. Sorry, my cat jumped on my desk. However, we remain humble and attentive, striving to address issues promptly and enhance your experience. Stay tuned for official patch announcements for more updates. Thank you for your support and patience. Ignite the battle. I 100% hope that this performance point system was implemented because people were asking for it and they wanted to show how much it sucked. I sincerely hope that that is why they put it in. 100%. Because it sucks ass. Makes no sense. And I just want my win-loss rating back. I just want my points for winning multiple games in a row. And I want my points for losing multiple games in a row back. Because that made sense. You won, you got 4 points the more often you won. You lost one, and then your points got reset. and then you had to like climb back up. That made sense to me. It worked for me. It worked for multiple people. Please turn it back. Also, I have my headset on, I just noticed, but I'm not actually listening to anything. Anyways, I hope this has helped you guys understand what is the current situation in the ranked games. I hope you guys can get past this bullshit and still enjoy the game, because it is still genuinely fun. It just, the point system sucks. And for now, I'm just gonna leave this video here. If you guys want to watch more Marvel Rivals stuff, you want to watch me do more character kit explanations, let me know. Currently, I have Emma Frost waiting and ready to be recorded. I was actually going to record that today, but, you know, this came out, so it was like, well, I need to address this. So if there is a hero you guys want me to explain, let me know in the comments down below. Give the video a like, and maybe subscribe, and I will see all you little people in the next video, hopefully. Bye!